Hey guys, welcome to my new series, Titan Talk Too Long Didn't Watch. This is for February 5th. I'm going to try and be really quick and get this thing done really fast so that, it was too long, you didn't watch. So here's the short version. Okay, so they started out the Titan Talk by talking about esports. The SPL update, there isn't any right now. Anyways, went over for some balance changes as well. There's new ones as well as going over the old changes that are happening. Here they are. They're adding Mantle of Discord. Takakage and Gem Focus, they don't require mana anymore, so Thanatos and stuff can use them. Divine Ruin, it increases the intelligence from 80 to 100. Chronos Pendant gets 15 intelligence as well. Soul Reaver gets reworked to do 1% plus 0.5% of your intelligence per tick, max health to the enemy, as well as getting some better stats and a lower cost. I think this will be must build on every mage. Jade Scepter gets a cost increase of 300 gold, while also getting 40 intelligence and losing 50 health. Leather Cowl is removing its attack speed and getting lifesteal, and the passive buff is increased by 15%. Hunter's Cowl getting plus 10 AD, remove the attack speed, add the lifesteal, and it's getting a lifesteal aura as well. Conduit Gem and Sanzo Time are both getting 5 intelligence. Spear of Desolation is getting reworked to have 10 cooldown rate. Staff of Mirrodin active cooldown is reduced by 30 seconds. Glorious Pridwin is getting 10 of each prot and more scaling on the shield. Spirit Robe is getting 10 more of each prot and now gets CCR for 30% when crowd controlled, which is great. Mystical Mail is losing 150 gold. Shield Splitter is now much cheaper, 150 gold cheaper. It moves faster by 50% and now passes through all targets hit. It is now Physical Lifebinder and it's a very good item. Gilded Arrow getting a bit of a shift. It is losing basic attack power, getting attack speed, losing the bonus gold by 1, increasing the mark cooldown, and decreasing the passive attack speed gained. And that is going forward for Sharpshooter Arrow, but now the gold gain effects on Sharpshooter Arrow is only earned from kills and assists, as well as the bonus damage is going down. They're nerfing Lifebinder, unfortunately. It is losing 15 base power and 20 base power from the heal on its damage in the heal. Hussar's Wings is being increased by 700 gold because they said that it disables entire kits, and it just needs to be a more premium item for how good it is. The wards are being adjusted. They are loading the radius of the ward some to match Smite 1. And if you watch the previous Titan Talk, the Void Shield and Void Stone were getting buffed, but people react to them negatively, and they are no longer doing that. For God Balance, Amaterasu is getting a slightly increased base attack speed. It is getting a buff to her 1 to increase the attack speed buff, and her 2 is getting a stronger damage reduction scaling on her intelligence. On her, everybody, if you watched the previous Titan Talk, the Aspect of Pride was going to allow his 2 and his ult to crit and apply basic attack effects. That is no longer happening, unfortunately. It was a mistake by Isaiah. He accidentally leaked it, but they are buffing on hers Impale and Desert Fury. Kabrakan is getting buffs across the board to pretty much every one of his abilities. It is favoring strength significantly, so it looks like we're gonna have strength bruiser Kabrakan maybe going into the solo lane or jungle. Zeus is getting shifted away from ADC. They are lowering the multiplier on his basic attack passive, but they are increasing the damage on his abilities and lowering the cooldown. So hopefully, and he's also losing attack speed on his 2. Vulcan, for some reason, is getting a very large buff. His thermal mod is getting massively increased. He's going to be chunking, instead of 700 per ability, he's going to be chunking for like 800. His other mods are getting changed, like the Masterwork protections. He's not going to be able to give himself 50 protections on a 10-second cooldown. And his ult and aspect are getting changed. His ult's getting buffed, aspect's getting nerfed. Medusa's 2 is getting nerfed again with a sizable base damage nerf as well as scaling. And her ult is getting a 10-second cooldown. If you haven't seen them, Soul and Amma are getting aspects. Soul turns her into a mage with a basic ability damage multiplier as well as an intelligence scaling passive that loses her AD carry scalings. And Amaterasu is getting one that makes it so her 1 can only be used in red form, but when you activate it, she basically gets like Hastened Fatalis, a bunch of attack speed and movement speed. So she's going to run you down as full tank Amaterasu probably, but she does lose the healing. The release date for OB3 is probably at the end of this week, Friday, or early next week on Monday or Tuesday. Probably more likely Monday or Tuesday, but Kilgan said if they one-shot the patch, if it all looks good on the PTS, you're good. So, Rama preview. When you activate his 2, there's a huge circle, and your 2 picks up all the astral arrows around him. That's one of his +1s. So basically, if you are shooting an enemy far away from you, and a bunch of arrows drop, you can press 2 to pick them up. Now, there is a tracker on your 2, because Rama, if you hit 3 basic attacks on an enemy, you would get a free arrow when your 2 is active. But now they just added a passive tracker over your health bar for you to see if you're on, what auto you're on, and when you're going to get the free arrow. If you want to cancel your 3 after you dash, your 3 cripples, and your 1 is active, you can actually cancel just your 3 and not your 1 now, instead of canceling both. Rama's aspect is insane. Astral Strike is always active, but you no longer regen Astral Arrows. When out of Astral Arrows, reload. While Infinite Arrows is active, Astral Arrows are not consumed. So, Your 1 is always active, insanely broken. When you press 2, you no longer use astral arrows, also broken. And you can reload when you run out of arrows. So you can either right-click to reload, or when you run out of arrows, you reload, which will stop you from basic attacking for a short amount of time. And I tell you, it is short. His 1 now deals much less bonus damage at the base, but they added a 25% strength scaling to the basic attack, so it is going to be absolutely OP. I think this is the only way to play Rama, I'll be honest. Here's Rama's Shadow skin, his Legendary skin, and his Opal skin, and his Radiant skins. His new trackers is Snipe kills, so his enemies killed with your ult, and Arrows Fletched, the number of astral arrows dropped by Rama. And here is the wonderful emote. Yeah, it's perfect, no notes. It's based on the Olympic shooter guy who just raw-dogged basically everything while everybody looked like they were a cyborg. Very epic. Here's the new tracker, the Pixel Runner. I'm going to see if I can get video up for this, but I'm trying to make these videos really quickly, so it's kind of hard. But Susanna runs around your border killing dudes, which is really cool. The OB3 patch notes are going to be coming out this week. Again, the release date might be this week or early Monday, Tuesday, but the OB3 patch notes are coming out very soon. Bunch of wandering updates, clarifications, and conversations. We got to see the initial splash page. We got to see the initial splash page of the wandering market here. You gain EXP just for playing the game, and then you can spend coins. So once you level up, or once you get a level in the wandering market, you get 200 market coins or whatever, and then you can spend the coins in whatever order you want on the pages. Once you spend enough coins to unlock the next page, you can get anything off the next page. Everyone earns coins at the same rate, but you get 1,000 coins all at once if you buy into the wandering market. You don't have to buy the current wandering market, and you can still earn coins. So no matter what, you're going to be earning coins whether you engage with it whatsoever. The coins are saved between wandering markets, so you can just spend the coins on whatever wandering market you like. They will probably add later that you can buy wandering market coins, but they didn't want to add this in the first market at least because they wanted players to understand that they did not have to spend money to finish the wandering market. There is no expiration time for any of these wandering markets, so once you buy it, you can unlock the content on it at your leisure. Absolutely no FOMO. You do not buy per page. You just buy the whole battle pass once for 1,300 diamonds, or 650 diamonds plus 650 legacy gems if you have the legacy gems for the whole thing. That is 3 skins, 400 diamonds back. So you're basically just spending 250 diamonds for 4 skins. Like, well, 3 technically. But yeah, that is the whole wandering market thing. Somebody asked about a 10 to 15 minute game mode in Smite 2. They said Arena is just taking too long right now, so they're going to try and figure that out why. Somebody asked, are we going to be getting more enchanter support items? They said there's always options for looking at different support actives, but right now there is a lot of diversity for support actives. So they're going to be looking to active items for other roles and then passive items for supports. This is funny. Someone in chat last Friday said that they need to move the servers to Singapore because the ping was too high for some Asian players. Because of that one person's comment, they ran a test randomly queuing people from the Asian servers into either Tokyo or into Singapore. And what they found out was that for 85% of the Asian player base, Tokyo was better, and it was only good for about 15% of the players in Singapore. They did run the entire test for the one person who asked about it last Friday at a Titan Talk. Really cool of them. But yep, no, they're not changing the Asian servers. Sorry for that guy. They're adding CCR with Achilles and Spirit Robe to test the CCR formula and to make sure it works. So they're going to start adding it to more items. So someone asked for a reminder if you leave the store without a relic. Apparently they have that, but it's bugged right now. We will only be getting 1 god each week for OB3. Even if they seem to be entirely done Achilles and Rama, they will not be dropping them all at once. They're going to stagger the god releases 1 week at a time, just to give them more time to develop and sort of pace out the content, I guess. Some gods have weird looking faces, particularly Aphrodite's. Somebody asked about that and they said that they are looking into it. They intend to add more different types of scalings on gods, like health scaling, mana scaling, etc., you know, wherever it makes sense, you know. They gave an example of, like, you know, if one of your abilities increases your protection, then you might want protections to increase the potency of that ability. They're going to be adding an option to change relics and actives into instant cast, quick cast, or normal cast, but this is in very early testing and they're still trying to figure it out, so it's probably not going to be there for quite a while. Cucullin isn't going to be added this year. People started asking about gods, but yeah, Cucullin isn't going to be added this year, likely. They said he's not very popular. but he will be added eventually because he is good for pro play. And they also said Horus will not be this year. Somebody asked, how was the design process for New Gods changed it from Smite 1 to 2? Still the same brainstorming process. They think what feels Smite 2. That's what they think about. What they can really do that pushes the game between Smite 1 and 2, like Aladdin. Somebody asked, why are you guys giving us the old gods and not the new ones? Kilgun responded, a lot of the core fundamentals of Smite are built around the early god kits. Making the game feel good around those older kits will build up its fundamentals. They also say that it's more fun to get a new version of an old god rather than potentially getting a new version of Nut. Basically, to boil it down really easily, they said, you know, new toy syndrome, you just got Newt in Smite 1, so it's more exciting to see how an old god can be revamped by +1s rather than adding a new god that you already had. But they mostly care about how complicated the kit is to take over to Smite 2. And newer gods typically have more complicated kits compared to older gods, and this doesn't always mean that they're only going to focus on old gods, but it depends on what they have the bandwidth for. And then, do they feel comfortable reworking gods? Personally, Lermy is in hard favor of using the +1 system rather than reworking gods. It sounds like that is a common sentiment, but they did say that maybe some other designers feel opposite, that they should rework some gods, so we'll have to see how that goes. Personally, maybe we should rework some things, but yeah, here's Titan Talk Too Long Didn't Watch. Please subscribe if you want more. I'm going to be doing these every single time they release a Titan Talk. I'm going to be sitting there, I'm going to be writing notes, so subscribe if you want more. Comment, let's talk about changes. If I missed anything, let me know, and have a great day.